Vayikra, and he called. Leviticus chapter 1 verse 1 to chapter 6 verse 7. Leviticus 1. And he called to Moshe and spoke from the tent. If anyone wanted voluntarily on an olah to spend, he can bring a male from the livestock, a perfect one from the herd or flock, even a dove or pigeon after removing the feathers and crop. All the pieces, head and fat are placed on the wood. Innards and legs are washed as it should. All around the altar is poured out the blood. Everything is burnt except for the skin. All of this for a sweet fragrant offering. Leviticus 2. If anyone wanted to give thanks with grain, oil and frankincense goes with his flour on the flame. A portion is burned and the rest for the priests remain. Your offering can also be baked in the oven, a pot or pan. Yes, all of these. Unleavened with oil you must present it to the priest. A portion he burns to Adonai for a fragrance so sweet. Every offering must have salt on it. For first fruit, roasted green heads are fit, with frankincense and oil added to it. Leviticus 3. And if with a peace offering he wants to draw near, with a perfect male or female, from the herd or flock he may appear. The priest shall sprinkle the blood on the altar all around. On the fire he puts the kidneys and all the fat on them to be found. All the fat on the innards and also the liver's lobe. And if it's a lamb, you add all the fat tail close to the backbone. The priest shall burn them on the altar as food, a fire offering, a fragrance to Adonai so good. Leviticus 4. If the priest, the congregation, a ruler, or a man sins by mistake, this is the offering for unintentional sin they should make. And so he is pardoned for atonement's sake. For the priest and congregation one must bring a bull. A ruler brings a male goat to slay in full, and a female goat or lamb is for an individual soul. For the priest and Adah, 7 times before the veil the blood he must scatter, and also some on the horns of the altar of incense for this matter. And all the rest is poured at the base of the altar of ascending offering. All the fat he burns on the altar, as was done with the peace offering. Outside camp he brings the rest of the bull. Where the ashes are poured out, it is burnt in full. For the ruler and individual, the blood is on the horns of the altar and at its base. And like the other, all the fat is burnt on the slaughter place, and all of the animal is offered up before Adonai's face. Leviticus 5. If a soul does not make it known when he heard a swearing voice, he is guilty because he kept quiet by his choice. Or he touches the carcass of any animal unclean, or defiles himself by man's uncleanness that was unseen, or swears rashly an oath for evil or good with his lip, he shall confess and bring his guilt offering for this slip. A female lamb or goat he does bring, and the priest makes a covering for his sin. Turtle doves or pigeons, he should bring 2. If he doesn't have a flock, this will do. 1/10 of a measure of flour if he has no animal gain. A handful of this fine flour is burnt just plain. The rest shall be the priest's like an offering of grain. Any unintentional sin against what is holy, a perfect ram plus 1/5 is to be given fully. Against any one command, one does what is not to be done, a ram is offered, a perfect one. Leviticus 6. When one lies concerning a deposit pledged robbery or what was lost, or exploits his neighbor, swearing falsely, not counting the cost, he shall repay the full value, adding 1/5 to it, bringing a perfect ram as a guilt offering to the priest.